Okay, so I've recorded this way too many times. Just gonna briefly go through things. Basic, extremely basic death ball stuff. As far as what I'm recommending for dash ball, all of this is the same. Make manipulating wrap harder. Log system. Packs would be gotten through gems. Gems would be obtained exactly how you expect. Here's the sneaks. They've added a sword. They've added a scythe. They've got idols that are work in progress, which if they actually go through with this is just going to beat Death Ball to it. Like, Death Ball doesn't have a chance if this goes in because you're not going to need S grades to get these. So it's looking very promising. But going into the rest of the ideas, again, extremely basic trading. Just do it better than Death Ball. Nothing fancy. As far as clan stuff goes, make it more interesting and more rewarding. You'd have the main room, you'd have the Clan Wars room, which would unlock Clan Wars, and you would get your whole clan team in there to launch Clan Wars into matchmake. So this would make it really easy for you to get the whole clan together because they just click the HQ button through the clan page, and then you just join and you matchmake and you're good. Then raids, I want to make raids a little bit more rewarding and a little bit more interesting. In Death Ball, it's just here's a boss, you earn gems, here's a pack. I kind of want the boss to drop its soul, and then I want either the weapons to be a random drop from the boss, or to use souls somehow within a crafting recipe, because I think you should reward people for actually killing the boss. People alt farm or AFK farm the bosses a lot because they use gems. if you if you set up a tiny task to be able to complete the boss, that's kind of impressive, but the chances are that someone's going to be able to do that is pretty slim. But we'd obviously have to test the boss to make sure you can't set up a tiny task to just beat the boss consistently. So you'd probably put in some elements that are random timed or something not consistent. So you have to actually be at your computer to react. So trying to stop alt farming is a basic goal, and I think we can do a really good job because Deathball and Anime Defenders don't try at all, and they encourage it if anything. So you just don't do what they do, and then you're fine. So I like the idea of a raid room, and then the vendor room is basically the problem with Deathball is Deathball clans are pretty much worthless. There's no real points to create one outside of you wanting to build up a community. But if you took away the tag, the actual clan doesn't get to do any unique content or unlock any unique rewards. You have the salute emote, and that's it. So the goal of the vendor room would be adding a clan shop that rewards you based off of your XP farmed, your gems donated, and then probably events you've either it would reward you for just playing the game in general, being active, or it would reward you for just events in general that make your clan look better. So playing ranked and getting a high elo should benefit you. Playing tournaments and placing high, doing well with your clan and clan wars, getting a lot of raid clears. So let's say there's a leaderboard that shows raid clears for the week for given clans. That would be really good, and then would reward clans for high placement. Let's say. So then there's a purpose for it. But the vendor is basically just to add more rewards because I think clans need to be more interesting and more rewarding. And then as far as some of my ideas go, you would have the salute emote and the knight emote from Deathball. Have the salute as a, your entry level into clans, but you still have contributed some. And then you would have the knight emote as a big reward where you've contributed a lot to your clan and you've participated in a bunch of clan activities. So it would show that you're, kind of a team player. So then if you ever had to go look for a clan, you would show that emote and they would immediately know, hey, this person actually did something in their last clan. So they're going to do something in ours realistically. You could also add a secret in at, a very high contribution rate. So if you donate just a ton to your clan, you get a special secret. And then immediately, if you pull that secret out, people know that you're a Clan Wars player or you were very dedicated to your clan, either the past one or current. Obviously, if you left your clan, you would keep the item. You're not going to take that away from a player just because they left a clan or they had to swap. That would be ridiculous. So, same, you could also add, some sort of weekly modifier for a clan if they, contribute or play a certain amount. So, this is a bit of a random idea, but for anyone that played Destiny and played the Nightfall, you used to get a special glow over your head after completing the Nightfall, and then you got like an XP buff, and it was like enchanted or something like that. If we had something like that for Dashball, where the players that contributed enough to the clan or the clan itself would get that kind of modifier, and they would get some buff for all of their players. It would be kind of cool. You could also do something like World of Tanks Tour of Duty, which is you need to play a little bit, and then all of your players together need to play enough to give your whole clan a reward. So it's a kind of team thing, and it makes it so you're encouraged to make an active clan. The only thing is you don't want it to be elitist where if you aren't insanely active, you're kicked out. So that's a bit of a off the cuff idea. And then I said about the boss souls, I think that's a good idea. Alt farming would try to be dealt with, all that. And then as far as items go, all of the swords would probably be tradable. As far as the resource goes, like the boss souls, I don't know if that should be tradable. Realistically, you would just make the items tradable, but we'll see. And then the vendor idea was basically the problem with Deathball is big traders don't really have stuff to put a lot of gems into. So adding some sort of vendor that's just, they have very rare, cool items that are insane prices. So your big end game flex items. The best thing I can compare it to is, I guess, World of Warcraft, which again, I don't play that game anymore, but they had a mount that was a big Stegodon mount. So it was a big dinosaur mount that had a trading thing built into it, and I think a shop. So it was really convenient because your whole clan could repair their gear off of that mount, and they could access trading from the mount. So it was just a really big flex item, and it was also just massive, so it looked really cool. So let's say the vendor would have a special booth you could have where the booth is just really big and, just very, you know, a very big, cool looking booth that people like, and then maybe it adds 5 slots to your booth or something. And make it so it's not cheap. Like, this isn't something that's logical to buy. It's just something funny to buy that you could buy if you wanted. It's more about giving players the option to have really cool things that are really expensive if they want them. And then the goal would be to make these items actually desired. But, if you see someone with them, you know exactly what they did to get the item. So I think it would be cool. The more practical thing would be not doing that kind of booth thing, but you would add a special secret behind this vendor. So let's say I don't really know what kind of secret you'd make for traders, but let's say you make a secret that costs 10 million currency of gems or whatever the hell it is. So 10 million gems, you go to the vendor, you buy the secret, and then you now have the super rare secret that's untradeable and only you can keep it. The reason I don't really want it tradable is because I think it's more interesting because obviously the vendor is always going to come back with the item. So there's no point for it to be tradable, but it would be fun, I think. And then another way to build off of that idea is secret quests. The whole point of secret quests would be if Daisu creates a secret where he can't make a pack around it because he can't make other items that are themed the same way look good, then you would create this. So then you can focus on making secrets and making a lot of secrets over just making tons of packs and rotating packs constantly. So let's say they hired an artist consistently. This would be a way of keeping the artist busy with stuff to do if they have a very easy time keeping up with packs. Now, the basic way you would do these secrets is you'd add a bunch of variety in what you need to do to get the items. Now, I don't think you want a ton of different things to do. You probably want to stop at like 5. If you have 5 different things you need to do for a sword or more, it's going to get really crazy. So I've just put examples with like 2 or 3 generally. So let's just say, you know, play the boss for, I don't know, 10 hours, or I don't know. It doesn't really matter. There's so many options you can do in this, but you could make a boss sword, so it would be like Cursed Spirit Blade or Warforged Reaper from Deathball, and then you would require a certain amount of boss kills by saying you need boss souls. And then if the boss summoned minions, let's say, it would require so many of the minions killed. Now, this kind of artificial playtime thing, I don't think anyone wants that. But if you do it by boss souls, I think it's a cool concept. I think people would enjoy it. Now, you want to balance it to where it's still fun to get. So, I'm not saying make these difficult. I'm just saying you'd present it in this way and offer secret quests as a way to obtain items over RNG. Because I would bet there's a lot of people that don't really like the constant RNG of packs and that kind of stuff. So this would be the alternative. There would still probably be packs in the game, but this would be another way for some of the secrets to be implemented. And then as far as the ideas go, I'm not a huge fan of the, you know, the requirements that require you to be very good at the game. I feel like it limits who's going to get them in a way that's not very fun. I don't really want something like Trials of Osiris from Destiny, which, if you haven't played that, Trials of Osiris is basically a hyper competitive 3v3 mode where the armor and the guns are super rare, and going flawless, which is winning 9 times in a row, gives you a flawless chest of gear. And the flawless weapons are just straight up better. Now, there won't be advantages to different weapons in this game, so that's not relevant, but I don't think you want cosmetics that allow people to be elitist to that extent of I'm a top, ranked player because I got this item. I don't think you want that. I think you want a lot more of these kind of you killed a lot of players, you won a bunch of face-offs, like this kind of item realistically you do probably, 200 face-offs or something. And then you do some player kills or something. You can leave this higher. Numbers, don't worry too much about the numbers. It's more of the you can replace all of these with X too. So I'll just do that. It doesn't really matter. It's just this kind of idea where you do certain things and those certain things will reward you an item that's untradeable. And anyone that sees you with that item knows what you did to obtain it. The reason I think that's fun is because something like Divine Shadow in Deathball, someone that was playing back when it first came out, farming a million back then was not hard. You could have gotten a Divine Shadow every single day if you hard farmed and played just no life, like 10, 12 hours. It was possible to get Divine Shadow in one day. Nowadays, the only way you're getting a Divine in one day is having probably $200 or $300 worth of accounts in AFK or the people that cross trade, which anyone that plays Deathball knows how many people cross trade. It's not a secret. Everyone knows it. Just saying. But basically, as far as the secret quests go, you really want to just change these so they're fun to do. And you want to make them fit the weapon. For something like Great Sword, it being kill oriented or something as a, PvP flex item, it makes sense. Something like a Soul Slayer item should be based off of killing something or bosses, just because theme wise it makes sense. If you're going to make something called the Champion Blade, you should be winning something competitive. Ranked tournaments, clan wars, doesn't matter. It should be in a competitive area that you get the Champion Blade. If you're going to get a duelist blades like a rapier or a fencing sword, then it makes sense for you to do it in 1v1s. Same, if you're going to earn a lance, it makes sense to do it in 1v1s. If you're going to get, I don't know, let's say a dagger, it would make sense for you to win clashes or win by killing people close up, if that's possible to track. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. So I just want to put this out as a concept, see if you guys like it. And then the other thing is, as far as kills go, this would be the big thing. So The ways we could do kills are either you get rewarded a secret every 2,000 kills, which this is the bad way of doing it as far as I'm concerned, because the issue is we're ordering now what you obtain, how you obtain items, which I think limits player creativity and kind of how you express yourself. If you love this darkness sword, let's say, then you shouldn't be limited to, doing it that way. You can make some more expensive items, but if you're just going to go by kill amounts, you can unlock Inferno, Wrath, Fire, Ice, Darkness, and just have it in that order, and that's locked. You can't change it. That's how it is. If you want the Darkness or you want Ice, you have to get those kill amounts. I think that's very limiting. I'm not a huge fan of it. The better idea to me is add something called kill tokens, which every kill would give you a kill token. And you would have to create something where you can see how many kill tokens you have. And the way that you would use kill tokens is instead of you unlocking a secret every 2,000 kills, every secret would cost 2,000 player kill tokens. So let's say you wanted darkness. Now darkness is instead of 10k total kills required, it's 2,000 player kill tokens. Now, the reason why this is better is because it's the same system where you will have all of these items once you hit 10k kills, but now you can pick whatever order you want. If you want darkness first, you can do darkness. If you want fire second, you can do fire. If you want ice third, you can do that. You could also go the exact opposite way, where it's darkness, ice, fire, wrath, and then inferno. It would be completely up to you what order you go by. The thing is, do you have 2,000 kills? And then do you have one of these left to unlock for the 2,000 kills? I just think it would be a fun way to do it. And again, you could heavily adjust that number as far as 2,000 kills. It would probably make sense to lower it to like 1,000 kills or something, or 1,500. I don't know. So take all my numbers with a grain of salt. It's more about the concept. So if you like it, leave a comment. If you have other suggestions, do that. As far as, sneaks go, we've got this sword, and this idol. I've re-recorded this too many times, so if I've already covered this, I'm sorry, but I really like the way this game's starting to shape up as far as all the leaks that I've seen. Well, not the leaks, the sneaks that Dicey's posted. And at the time of recording, he just posted the run animation for me privately. The run animation's good too. Whenever that becomes public, you can see that. I'm not gonna leak that, but yeah. If you have any suggestions or comments, I'm always happy to see them. And yeah, so have a good one.